Aaron, a bit of a shame with how that game finished last night, obviously.
Yeah, it was. It was unfortunate. Thought we fought back really well to get in a position to get to that around that 140 mark, and I think it would have been a good game. It wasn't the easiest wicket to bat on. I think it was set up that our bowlers, if we had got some early wickets, it would have been a real good close game. But not to be. Melbourne turned it off for us.
Shame you missed out with the runs again.
Yep.
Put your recent lack of runs down. Something going wrong?
Oh, I don't think. Well, something's going wrong. Not getting enough runs, but at the end of the day, I'm still practicing well, still hitting them well. I still feel good. T20 is a game where if you take a risk early and you get out a couple of times, it can build up. But I mean, it's still a game that you're looking to take them on at the start. So I've been in this position before, and it's not alarming. I think it's more just trying to get through that initial 5-10 balls and reassess. I felt like I played reasonably well in Brisbane and got off to a decent start. Just didn't kick on. So yeah, just one of those things. In this format, it can happen.
Do you worry about it much? You know, with the test coming up and everything.
No, not really. I think it's a totally different format. When you're looking to get after them so early in a T20 game, the first risk that you take can often you can get out. But I've still been working very hard on my technique and doing a lot of work with Graham Hick and trying to just adjust a couple of little things. So it's not ideal, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it's the opposite format. So I'm sure once I get to Brisbane for the Shield game, I'll be able to get stuck into the red ball stuff a bit more.
Aaron, is it important to you to open in that Shield game?
No, I don't think so. I think Victoria's had a very settled opening combination in Marcus Harris and Travis Dean for 3 or 4 years now, and they've played really well together. I think that's important that we respect that. So I don't think that I'll open in that game. They've both been playing nicely. So I'm sure in the next couple of days I'll chat to Andrew and Pete and get a bit clearer position.
But they're obviously two different positions, facing the new ball and coming in later. Like, can you prepare the way you want to prepare for the first test, you know, if you're not at the top of the order?
Yeah, I think it's more about just time in the middle, regardless of where you're batting. I think runs in any position count a lot more than if you miss out open the batting. I think it's just time in the middle, to be honest.
And if they've the selectors have said they'll certainly leave it up to Victoria. Like, would you expect to have a conversation with Andrew about it, or you know?
No, I don't think so. Like JL said, it's the states. It's up to them how they see themselves winning the game with the best structure. So I don't plan that I'll have that conversation. At the end of the day, it's up to the captain and the coach to make that call, and whatever Pete and Ron decide, I'll be comfortable with, whether that's 3, 4, 5. I think just time in the middle against a red ball is as good a preparation regardless of where you bat.
Isn't it confusing though when your state coach is saying one thing and the national coach is saying another about where you should bat?
No, I don't think so. I think it all depends on where you pick to fit into the national side, and I've played in the middle order for Victoria for most of my career, so I don't see it as being too confusing or conflicting at all. And like I said before, JL's theory is it's up to the states to align their teams with how they best see them winning a game. So, and Victoria, like I said, we've had a very settled opening combination, Harris and Dean, for a couple of years now, and won 3 out of the last 4 Shields. So tough to argue with that.
How is that rivalry with India at the moment? They're coming into the Test series. Obviously, they've never won here. Want to keep it that way? And what's the rivalry like now, having played a couple of games together?
Well, it's hard when you're on and off the field with rain all the time. But I think we played really well in Brisbane with the bat. We had a really clear game plan and stuck to it, and I thought that the way that they bowled last night showed that they adapted their game plan pretty quick, especially to the dimensions of the MCG as opposed to the Gabba. So yeah, it's always a great rivalry. I think we saw the passion of the fans last night. There was 70-odd thousand there at the MCG in some pretty brutal conditions, and they hung around and supported cricket, which is the main thing.
How hard has it been juggling?
Sorry?
I was going to say, how hard has it been juggling sort of, you know, your own preparation and leadership when you haven't had runs, and obviously, you know, quite like to have a bit of time with the coaches and whatever, but there's a bigger picture and a need to sort of look after all the boys?
Yeah, I think it's important that you make sure that everyone's as prepared as they can be, and at times, if that means that I bat a little bit less, which I haven't been doing actually, I've been batting more and more in the nets, which is I need to go the other way and get back to my old preparation, which is have one big hit before a series and then sort of ease into it and not hit a hell of a lot once it gets underway. So I think, like I said, when you're searching for a bit of form or you feel like there's something just missing in your game, you probably tend to hit a lot more balls and search for an answer. But the answer is pretty simple. I just got to hit the ball in the middle a few more times. In this format, you're one shot away at times from everything just clicking back into gear.
And in terms of the first test, Tim and Justin sort of suggested you'll open. Have you got any preference on who's down the other end?
I haven't really talked to them at all. I haven't spoken to Tim in the last couple of days, and I haven't spoken to JL about it. Obviously, with such quick back-to-back games in this format, that's been our only focus is trying to win this series. So I'm sure once this game in Sydney's done and hopefully we win the series, we can start to look a bit further ahead to that first test.
Aaron, it's on the women's final tomorrow
Yep.
morning. How do you think our Australians are going to go?
Yeah, very good. It's very exciting. Meg and Matt have led that side really well, and the girls have played some great cricket. So to get such a convincing win over a really dominant West Indies side was really important going into that final. England, they've obviously played a lot against each other. They've been a great rivalry, like in the men's game. So I think it'll be an amazing game, and good luck to all the girls.
What do you think of the way that they've kind of flown the flag for Australian cricket throughout this tournament?
Oh, it's been great. I think the style that they've played, the way that they've gone about it, everyone in Australia should be really proud of what they've achieved, regardless of the result tomorrow. Obviously, it'd be great for them to win, and I have full confidence that they can do that. But they've been at the top of the game in all formats for such a long time now. It's a real credit to all the girls in there and the coaches.
Just on Billy Stanlake, how's he going? A bit disappointing for him?
Yeah, it was. He started to find some really good rhythm in Brisbane, and he's been around the mark for quite a while. Obviously had a tough tour of England, and to come back and have that time to get his body right and start to feel good again. It's unfortunate trip on the rope and straight over. I didn't know about it until I was halfway out for the toss. So yeah, it was unfortunate, but Mitchell Starc's a pretty good guy to come in and replace him. But I think Billy will make his comeback throughout the Big Bash whenever he's up to it.
And just lastly, just on the fans here tomorrow, I think it's going to be a sellout. How nice is that?
Yeah, it's great. I think, like I said, 70,000 or so last night at the MCG in freezing and sleety type conditions at times. It was amazing how many people come out and supported, and we know how passionate the Indian fans are, and there was certainly a lot of them there and in Brisbane. So it's great to have big crowds in Australia again.
Just what's it like to have Mitchell Starc come into the side for I guess it's a decider, but to have one of the world's best T20 bowlers to be parachuted into the team? Yeah,
it's nice. He's obviously got so much experience in the limited overs games as well, and we've seen how dominant he can be when he gets it right with the ball. And we'll have a look at the wicket this afternoon and sit down and discuss the side. But coming straight off a Shield game with an eye after the first test, his preparations will be really good.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
You obviously can't lose the series now, but just in context of the summer,
Yep.
how important is it that you can get a win tomorrow?
Oh, we'd try and win every game, obviously, but I think it was disappointing that we couldn't get a game last night, and the series, us have either won the series or be right back in line. But I think the way that we played in Brisbane showed some really positive signs. Our batting just let it slip a little bit last night, but winning the series is obviously huge, and it means a lot to us.